this video, I am going to build a full stack blogging application using Next.js 14. So you don't need any prior knowledge of Next.js to watch this video. I'll be covering all the topics from scratch. And I'm sure by the end of this video, you'll be able to create fast and scalable apps using Next.js 14 on your own. So in this app, I'm going to use Next.js 14 and TypeScript, and along with some other libraries like Tailwind CSS, Daisy UI, Prisma ORM for interacting with the database, and React Hook Forms, Zod, and many more. So watch this video till the end. As far as the prerequisites for this video goes, you don't need to have any prior knowledge of Next.js. Only some knowledge of React would be required, that you should be familiar with how React altogether works, what components are. So I'm not going to go into detail about the React concepts. So probably for that you should cover your React first. What is Next.js? It's a framework built on top of React. Next.js enables you to create a full stack web application by extending the latest React features. This is a very simple definition, you can say. What they mean by that, if you know React, then you know that for certain features, or if we need to install third-party libraries, like if we need to implement the routing, we should install the React router library first, then we can implement the routing. But in Next.js, they are providing the built-in out-of-the-box functionality of routing. Next.js also comes with certain tools which helps us create our app. Like it comes with a compiler which transforms and minify a JS code, and we also have this Node.js runtime available to us that execute our JS code on server, and we can also create our APIs directly in the same project. Like earlier, we used to have a front end created with React, and backend. For backend, we used to create a separate project in maybe in the different programming language altogether. Like we were using Node.js or .NET or Java, but with Next.js we can create our APIs in the same folder as well using Node.js runtime. Okay, starting I said that it helps us creating fast and SEO friendly application. What I mean by that is, since with the help of Node.js runtime, we can render our components directly on the server and send a response to the client or to the browser directly. So this makes our application SEO friendly. So whenever the SEO bots try to make a request to our application, they directly get the whole component in the request, unlike our React application where we get this large bundle of the JS and HTML files, and then that bundle gets downloaded on the browser and gets ready. Set up the development environment. Okay, first of all, we need to install Node.js in our system. So I've already installed it. You can go to this official website of Node.js and go to the download section. There you will find the Windows installer, Mac OS installer. Download whatever suits your requirements. I mean, if you are working on Windows machine, you can download the Windows installer. Otherwise, if you are on Mac, you can download the Mac installer. Okay. After installing this, you can directly download the Visual Studio Code as a IDE environment. So I'll be working with Visual Studio Code, and I have also installed this on my local machine. So install this, and after that, once you are done installing the Visual Studio Code, we will be making use of some extensions that will help us working on the full stack application faster, or it would make some things easier. So first of all, I'm going to install this Prettier extension. So this is a code formatter extension. So I'm going to use this to format my code. It makes things very easy. So whenever after writing the code, you can just press Ctrl S and it will automatically format all your written code in a particular file. Okay, and after that I'm going to install this ES7 extension. So this extension will help you generate the React code snippets. So instead of writing the all boilerplate information again and again. You can just make use of this extension, and this will generate the whole uh, structure of your component with a very short command. Okay, so install this. There is no other configuration required for this extension to work. Just search for this ES7 extension and install it. Okay, other than that, we will also be needing TypeScript, since we are going to create the project in TypeScript. So search for TypeScript and install this extension. So I will install this JavaScript and TypeScript 90. Install this. No other configuration is required. And once you are done with this, search for Tailwind CSS. It provides you a IntelliSense ability for the CSS classes. Okay, so just install it, and you'll get the CSS classes suggestions like this. Okay. Now let's create our Next.js project. So as you can see on the Next.js official website, this is the command we need to run to create a Next.js project. Okay, so open command prompt. Okay, so this is the directory where I'm going to use where I'm going to create a Next.js project. So just paste the command which we copied from the official website, npx create next app, hit enter. So this will create a template or a Next.js project structure in this folder. Okay, so press Y to proceed. So this is creating the 14.0.4 version for Next.js, so we are good with that. Press Y, and now it is asking for the project name. So since it's write whatever you want. I'm just going to write my next app. Okay, after that, since we are going to make use of TypeScript, hit enter. Would you like to use ESLint? I'm going to select yes, since ESLint, it's a common code analysis tool which is going to that will be used to find syntax error or formatting issues in our project. So let's say we're going to use it. So I'm going to press yes. Would you like to use Tailwind CSS? Yes. Would you like to use source directory? I'm not going to make use of the source directory, so I'll be selecting no. Would you like to use app router? So this is the new app router feature comes in Next.js, so I'm going to use that feature, so I'll be selecting yes. So would you like to customize the default import aliases? For that we can select the no options, and yep, all things are done. Our project is created. Just let's go into this folder, cd my next app. Okay, we are inside that folder. Just write code dot, it will open our project in the Visual Studio Code. Okay, so this is the basic project structure. Okay, I'll talk about it later. Let's first run this. You can run this command, npm run dev, and it will run this Next.js project. Okay, our project is being served on localhost 3000 port. Let's just go to this URL, close the other tabs. Okay, so this is the default page our next app comes with. So we can customize it. I'll show you, but this is the default it comes with. Okay, let's talk about the project structure. So these are the folder it comes with. First we have this app folder. So this is the main folder we are going to work with mainly. And after that we have this node modules folder, which will contain all the libraries or the packages we're going to make use in the project. And then we have this public folder. Inside that, it contains all the static images, you can say assets of our project. So if we have any fav icon or any images, static images we want to use in a project, we can just put it inside this public folder. Other than that, we have this configurations file. Okay, this is the eslint.json file. This is the gitignore file. So I'm not going to talk about anything about how we can set up our GitHub code repository and so on. Probably in the later videos I can show how we can set up a GitHub code repository, but for now I'll be skipping this file. Okay, then we have this next.config.js file. We won't be needing it to customize it, but probably in this video we'll add some configurations. Okay, then we have this package log JSON file, the package JSON file, the whatever configuration or dependency we install in our project, it will be listed here. These are the dependencies, these are dev dependencies, and some of the scripts we are going to run. We can write it here. Okay, and then we have this post CSS file configurations, and readme, and this tailwind config.ts file. So this we are going to make some changes. The plugins part, if we have some plugins in our project, we can write some configurations here. Okay, and then we have this tsconfig JSON file. Mainly we don't have to be worry about these files. I guess if I talk about these files, it will overwhelm you. So probably later, as we proceed with the video, we'll talk about it. I mean, we'll add some configuration, and that would be easy to understand what exactly these configurations are doing. Okay, let's just focus on this app folder first. So this is the fav icon. You can favorite icon of your website. Okay, you can replace it. Currently this is the default icon it comes with. It's a Vercel company icon. You can change it if you want. You have this global .css file. So this is the, you can say, main CSS file for your application. Whatever CSS you want to implement throughout the application, at the application level, you can put that CSS configuration here in this file. So these are some components or variables defined here in the global CSS file. We'll talk about it later. We'll make some changes here in the global CSS file. Okay, then we have this layout page and this page.tsx file. So layout, let's talk about this layout page. Serves as a master page of your application. This layout is mainly, you can say, it's a common layout page for your application. So whatever common design elements you have for your application, you can put the structure here in the layout page, and it will be same for all the components you are going to add in your project. So you'll get it once with an example. Let me show you how. So it is basically nothing but a React component. So nothing but a HTML structure, and inside that HTML tag we have this body component, and this body component is returning the children, and basically it used to render the whatever pages you have in your application. So let's say you have your home page component in your application, so that home page component will be replaced here inside the body tag, and it will be shown on the web page. Okay, so by default we have this page.tsx file, and you can say it's a home page for your application. So it has remove these configurations. Okay, let's say I want to okay, so this, okay, let's go to our page. Okay, as you can see, this is the heading I wanted to print. So I've just added this heading tag inside my main body. Let's just remove all these class name. I'm not going to use these CSS classes. We're just going to create all the things from scratch. So this is the basic main tag we have. Inside that main tag, I have declared this heading element which is printing hello world. Okay, now if you go to the page, this is the hello world without any CSS, but we have this black background. Let's remove this CSS as well. So inside this body tag we have this configuration which is setting the background color. Okay, let's just remove this background. Okay, and color as well. Okay, now Okay, so this is the page. Let's talk about how routing works in our Next.js project. It's very simple. We don't need to install any third-party library to create a new route in the Next.js project. Basically, it works on the file system and naming convention concept. So, what I mean by that, let's say if you want to create a I mean, for now we don't have any route available for our page, for our application. Only this localhost 3000 port is serving this home page to us. So let's say if you want to have a new route for the users, okay, so you can achieve it directly by just go to this app directory folder and create a new folder. Name You can name it whatever you want, or whatever route you want to create, you can name it according to that. Like for now I want to create a new route for users, so let's say I will create a folder name users, and inside that folder you need to create a file which is going to be served for this users route. Okay, so for the file name, the name of this file is going to be page.tsx. You can't name it other than this because it is the naming convention given to us by Next.js, and it needs to be followed. Okay, if you were using JavaScript, then you have to name it as page.jsx. But for our project, since I'm using TypeScript, so I'm naming this as page.tsx. Okay, hit enter. And now inside this page.tsx file, we can create a React component or React component, and that page will be that component will be served for this particular users route. Okay, to generate the code snippet for this React component, we can use this command, type RAFCE. So this is going to create our React arrow function export component. Hit enter. Okay, as you can see, this has generated the structure for the React component. I'm going to name this page as users page. Okay, let's and hit escape. This is all we need to do to create a new route for the for this new users route. Okay, let me show you how you can access this route. Just go to the website. So this is our home page, and if you want to go to the users page, you can just type users/users after the localhost 3000. This will take you to the users. If you want to have a route like this inside the users folder, you want to have a route like for new users, you want to have a different route. For existing users, you want to have a different route. So for that, for now, if I go to this URL, I will get the not found page, since we don't have this route exist in our application. So let's say I want to create this route. It's very easy. For this route, we can create a folder inside the already existing users folder. Just create existing or new folder inside this users folder and create a page.tsx file. Okay, and inside this you can create a React component using the same command, RAFCE, and you can type, you can give the function whatever name you want. I'm just writing this as of now. Okay, just so now your new route has been created. If you hit refresh, you will find that why it is giving us error. You need to check the spelling. Okay, the folder which we created, okay, the spelling of our folder is not correct, sorry. Okay, now if I try to go to the same page, it will give us the correct now as you can see, this is the page we just created, and we are able to access it using the user/existing route. Okay, okay, let's say if you want to have something like this, if you want to access a particular user's record, so you can just you'll have a route something like this. Okay, for now if I go to this URL, I will get a not found error, obviously because we don't have this route available in our application. So to make this route, we need to have we need to create a new folder inside our users folder. Okay, so since this number can be anything, I mean it's not limited that the user will always enter one. Okay, so we can't create a folder name one inside our user folder because it will only tied to that particular value. Okay, but in our scenario we want to create it like that, that whenever if user type 10, then we will get the same page but with a different data, obviously, right? So this concept called dynamic routes. Okay, so to create the dynamic routes in Next.js, it's very simple, it's very easy. You can just go to this users folder and create a new folder inside that, uh, and that for that you name this folder as uh, write two square brackets, and inside that square brackets you need to give any name you want. Like in this scenario, our after slash it's going to be id, user id. You can write user, you can write user id, or you can simply write id, whatever you want you can write, but it has to be inside this square brackets. Okay, for now I'll create this folder, and inside that in the id folder you have to create a page.tsx file in order to serve the component to the user. Okay, okay, after that you can create a component. Okay, and you can give any name you want. I'll type uh, get user. I mean the name depends on you, whatever you want to give it. Okay, so I'm just writing it get users, and if you go to this route, now as you can see we are able to access this route as well. Okay, now you can write anything you want and you will be able to access this route. Okay, so we created this user route in which we are passing this ID of a particular user, and based on that ID value we would be returning some values to the user, right? So now we need to access this route parameter value from this route. So we know that when the user is calling this particular route, this page or this component is being rendered. Okay, so we will be needing this ID value inside this component. So to fetch the values, route parameter values, we can make use of props. So these route parameters values are available inside our props. Let me show you how or how we can access it. So we know that inside our props we have these params object. So we for now we can, I am just taking these props as type any, just to show you how what are we getting exactly inside our props object. So if I console.log these props object, we'll get to see that what exactly we are getting inside our props. Okay, so let me press Ctrl S. Now you'll see that what exactly the values we are getting. So this is what we are getting inside our props object. So we have this one params object which contains all the route parameter values. Okay, so in our scenario we are passing id of value of id as 1, and we also have this search param object. So but I'm not going to talk about it right now. First let's just discuss about this only, params. So params refer to our route parameter values. So since now we know that inside our props object we have this params and search param object, we can create an interface and destructure it properly. Instead of giving the props as type of any, we can create an interface of this of a particular type. Okay, let me just create an interface named props, and we know that inside that props we have this params object, and that params object again have a property called id, and which is going to be of type number for now. But in a real world scenario maybe it can be a GUID, and that in that scenario you can declare it as a string. Okay, so now we have declared our props as so we can remove this type of any and give it a more meaningful interface type. Okay, now we know, so we can further log it like this, params.id. Now we'll be able to fetch the id from the route parameter. Okay, as you can see we are getting this as 1, So you might be wondering, why are we getting this console.log value inside our terminal? Because uh, this is a server component, and by default all the Next.js pages are server side components. So whenever we try to log a value in the server components, we will be seeing that value in the terminal only, not on the browser, because this is being rendered on the server, not on the browser. Okay, and we can I mean, if you want, you can further destructure it here like this. No need to write this again and again. Okay, so instead I can simply write it like this, and let me print it on page as well, so that we can see the difference on the UI. Okay, let me refresh the page. As you can see, the value is updated here. The user ID is 1. Now let me change the value. I'll be passing 10. Okay, now you can see that we are seeing the 10 value. Now let's talk about what are query string parameters, or how we can access those query string parameters inside our components, like we access our route parameters. So this is the route we have, and let's say I want to pass some query string parameters inside that. So I can just simply write question mark, and let's say I want to fetch only the records which are active. So I'll be passing one boolean parameter like this, is active equal to true. Okay, so whatever the active records are, I want only those. So since we are not reading this value, we are only passing it. I'll add the value. Let's see how we can access this value and make the changes accordingly. Okay, so if we go to our component, so as earlier, like before, I showed you that inside our props object we do have a second parameter called search parameter. So that search parameter consists our query string values. Okay, so since we know that the second object was search params, and inside that, and we can in that object we can define whatever search params we are passing in the URL. So we were passing is active is active parameter, and that parameter was of type boolean. Okay, now we can declare it like this, and again we know that we can destructure it here like this, search params, and we know that we are reading only the is active property. Okay, yeah, so let me print the value here. Okay, press Ctrl S. Now you will be able to see that we are seeing route parameter is 10 and the query string parameter is true. Okay, let me print it here on the page so you can see the difference on the UI as well. User ID is this, and the record is whatever it is, true or false. Okay, now if we go to the UI, you'll be able to see the difference. Okay, user ID is this and the record is true. Now let's see how we can navigate our user from one page to another programmatically. Okay, now we know that we can go to this if we go type users here in the URL, we'll be able to go to the users page. But since it's not very much in a real world application, you'll be having one link button on your page, and when a user clicks on that page, you'll be redirecting the user to the another page, right? So let me show you how we can achieve that. Okay, first of all, let's go to the users folder, and inside that we created ID, 2 routes, basically 3 routes. Let me just delete this one because we don't need it. Let me delete it. Okay, let's say when a user is on the home page, and we want the user to be navigate from to be redirected from home page to the users page, basically. Okay, so how we can do that? We can basically create an anchor tag and give it a href of users, and we can do that. Okay, like this. Let's see how this will work. Okay, so as you can see in the on the page, we have this users link available, and watch closely when I click on this users link, our page is refreshing and we are being redirected to the new page. Okay, so it's not very much efficient when you create this anchor tag and try to navigate from one page to another through this anchor tag. We Many things are happening behind the scenes. Let me show you. So if you can see the network window, let me click on the users button. Let me refresh the page first. So whenever we opens our application first, okay, let me refresh the page first. Okay, all, click on the all button. Okay, let me refresh my page first. Okay, as you can see, there are so many requests being made. So first we have this local host request, okay, which is fetching our this server side component, and it's rendering our HTML. Okay, and we have this layout CSS file, some JS calls. Okay, so basically first time when you open your application, there are so many calls being made to the server, right? So let me just check. Let me clear out all these requests, and when I click on this users link, as you can see, all those requests are happening again. Okay, as if we are opening our application for the very first time. Okay, so that is why I was saying that redirecting the user using anchor tag is not so much very efficient. Okay, so to make this optimized, we can so Next.js has provided us one option. Okay, let me show you how. So we have this link component available, which helps us redirect the user to the new page. And let me show you how this is different from using the anchor tag. Okay, so the whole syntax is same. First you have to import it from next link, and write like this, and let me write go to users page and close the link button. Okay, and if you go to the page, you can see there are two links now. Okay, let me break the okay, as you can see, there are two links now. First is the users one, then there is the second link. This is the anchor tag link, and this is the next link which I have created, which is Next.js is providing. Okay, let me clear out all the requests. Okay, now if I click on this link, as you can see, there are no CSS or JS request or any other request is being made. Only you are getting this users page request. Okay, so Next.js is only calling the page which you are asking, or which you are redirecting the user to. So it's very optimized in a sense. It's not getting all the resources again. It's just fetching the resource which actually user requested. Okay, so this is how the anchor tag is this link is different from the using the anchor tag.